The other day I was talking to a client and they said to me, I just got my annual review and I was told that I need to work on my soft skills. What does that mean? So today I will discuss 4 beneficial soft skills for engineers. Soft skills, that's today's topic. Welcome to Ask the Resume Lady, Engineering Edition, your channel for career advice on resumes, interviews, negotiations, and more. Hi, I'm Diane Karczosowski. I'm an engineering professional, a Lean Six Sigma Black Belt, and a certified PMP. I have over 20 years experience in industry, and during that time I enjoyed mentoring people to help them build their confidence and grow in their career by sharing my advice with them. And I'm super excited to be sharing my advice with you here today. If this sounds like information you'd like to hear on a more regular basis, great! Please subscribe to my channel and click that bell icon so that you get notified each time that I post a new video. Alright, let's get to today's topic. In today's video, I want to talk about soft skills for engineers. Now, we may pride ourselves on extreme technical capabilities, but sometimes, in order to bring those great ideas to life, we need to work with others that are not as technically savvy as ourselves, right? So here are 4 soft skills to review and assess yourself to see if maybe you could use a little improvement in these areas. First one, communication. And there's so many aspects of communication, so I'm only going to touch on a few. But let's look at verbal and written. We were aware of that, but let's go back to the verbal section. We talk, but then there's another side of that talking is listening, right? Active listening is so important. What that means is you really truly listen to what they're saying so that you can understand it, incorporate it into your thought, versus listening just to determine when they're going to stop talking so you can then say whatever it is that you want to say. I've been in plenty of conversations where that happens. So they're not really listening to me, they're just waiting for me to end. All right? So active listening is very important. That helps you really to work together. Another form of communication you might want to look at is in-person communication versus email versus phone call. There's differences there, and sometimes certain situations do require actually in-person or a phone call. I see sometimes people will hide behind emails and shoot off a bunch of information when that's not necessarily the best form of communication. So maybe take a look at how you approach things and see if you're using the right form of communication. Also, there's a possibility that there's too much communication or too little communication. Too much could be that you're coming up to your boss every hour just to let them know, hey, I've got this done, just wanted to let you know. And then the next hour you're like, okay, I just updated this, I just wanted to let you know. That can be too much communication. But then on the flip side, there could be too little communication where you're like, I'll let them know when I'm done with whatever it is, when they do need maybe some periodic updates weekly, bi-weekly. So you've got to find that balance. So take a look at yourself and see maybe how frequent you communicate. Second area, soft skill I want to talk about is creativity. Sometimes we get so caught up in the utility of the item that we're building or creating that we tend to forget about the usability and what others are going to need out of this function. Sometimes we don't look at the beautification side or the decorative design elements because, well, that doesn't make it work any better, but it may be functional, but is it enjoyable to use? Because this product isn't necessarily just for you. Somebody else is going to be using this, and what's going to help them? An example of a really good use of this balance of creativity with function is when Apple came out with the first iPhone. It was a great example of incorporating creative industrial design into their product. So it was very it had all the functionality that it needed, but then it was also very user-friendly. Okay? So let's look at collaboration is the third one. As engineers, we usually feel very confident in our technical abilities, So we might not always be open to or ask for outside reviews or inputs into a project because we feel we've got this under control. But sometimes having other people work with us brings a different point of view, and it makes that product more robust, and it can just lead to a better product. An example of this would be without sales and marketing, our great ideas no one would know that they even exist. Without production and collaborating with them, our great ideas would never come to life because there's no one to build it. So sometimes you need to have those collaborations to make the design the best that it can be. Let's look at number 4, adaptability. When we're dealing with facts and figures every day, we may tend to get into this routine of everything just black and white, ones and zeros, my way or the highway, very rigid situation. But sometimes when working in groups, it's very important to have flexibility and adaptability because you are working with others. Just like in the last example, when I talked about working with sales and marketing, we look beyond sales and marketing. Who are they working with? They're working with customers, and they have different wants and wishes for their products. And sometimes you want to build your product a certain way, but you have to adapt to what the outsiders or the customers are wanting, because ultimately they're the ones that are going to buy it. So your design has to be something that they're willing to pay for, because if it's just something you think is neat, has great function in your eyes, but it's not what the customer wants, nobody's going to buy it, and your company's not going to fare well when it comes to selling things in the marketplace. So sometimes you need to adapt to new trends, new ideas, just to stay in demand in that marketplace. All right, so those are my 4 sections, my 4 soft skills I wanted to share with you today. So take a look at those 4 soft skills. Really assess yourself and see if there's areas that you could improve in or improve on. And then see if you do make those improvements, if during your annual review you might get some better scores. All right, I hope you found value in today's video. If you did, drop a comment below and let me know how it helped you. And if you need additional information, please check out some of these videos here. And if you're new to the channel, welcome, and please subscribe here. All right, until next time, think confident, act confident, be confident.